All right. Hey, Call of Cthulhu is going to be 40 years old this year, 2021. It was first published in 1981. And I have a couple of the original box sets that I thought I might kind of go through and show you what those looked like in 81, and I think this might be 83. This is the second edition, so I'm going to set that aside for now. So this box set is the first edition. The first edition box set was actually a thicker box set. It's a 2-inch wide box, and I don't know what printing. I think there were several printings of the box, and you can see here are some details on the back of the box. I love that picture of Cthulhu there. And so let's take a look at the front of the box. Love this image with the haunted house and the investigators thinking about what are they going to do. Obviously they're coming through from a graveyard and there's a tentacle coming at them. Of course, this was written by Sandy Peterson and published by Chaosium Inc. And there we go. Got the lid off. All right. So, first edition box set. Well, what came in the box? So, this, and I believe I have a complete box here. So, here's the game book. So, we can take a little bit closer look at that here. Again, that great picture of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu, Sandy Peterson. We can see, here we go. I think that's a Gene Day cover, that Cthulhu. Permission by Arkham House, So great. Let's get some playtesters listed here. Let's see. Some neat stuff here. So this booklet, saddle stitch, and it's really, really soft. It's a really supple book, which I thought that was, I've always liked that. It has a great, old paper smell. And the table of contents, it's right there on the back, which is kind of interesting. You don't really see this, where you have the table of contents listed on the back of the book. So it's pretty interesting. Let's see here. What's on here? You got the I'll move that box a little bit. Let's see. We've got the introduction on what a role-playing game is. What this game covers. Type of player aids, notes to keepers, some stories that you might want to, as a keeper, be familiar with to bring mood to the Call of Cthulhu game. Chapter 2, creating an investigator. Still very similar, even with 7th edition. We haven't gone too far out of that. Let's see, some occupations here. 3, 6, 7, 8, and other. So nine occupations. Is that it? I guess 9 occupations are all that started with this. Journalist, professor, the historian / antiquarian, parapsychologist, author, private investigator, dilettante, universal. These must be universal skills. So only 8 occupations, and then an other, created and determined by the keeper. So lots of flexibility. Here's a sample character sheet. Old Harvey Walters. He's been a staple in Call of Cthulhu for, I think, every version of the game. Chapter 3 has the skills, and a great table here showing the skills that are in the game and their core base percent chance. Call of Cthulhu, again, is a percentile-based game, levelless, no levels. You just, as your character gets better and improves, they get better at their skills. Let's see, what else have we got here? I don't think I'll go through everything. Oh, Sanity, Chapter 4. So we'll kind of flick through here a little bit faster. See what we've got in here. Again, it's just a really beautifully put together book. I was fascinated by it the very first time I played it, which was actually a friend of mine owned the first edition box set, this very similar box with a 2-inch thick box, and it was always fun to go over to his house and play Call of Cthulhu. An appendice, notes on the fragment of the Necronomicon, kind of cool. Let's see, rewards for valor, talking about cultists, libraries and their use. So this is some kind of cool information. And then there are a few scenarios. So there was a Shadows over Hollywood, which I think I might try and reread these and maybe try and update them and do something, maybe as a one-shot for 7th edition. Let's see. There's the Cultist Lair, a scenario. And there's another scenario in here. Wait. Let's see. Did we miss it? Yeah, here's a few other scenarios. Here we go. All right, so Chapter 8 had the ready play scenario. So the very first one, it used to be called The Haunted House, but its name was changed to The Haunting. And so this is the one with the classic Corbett house. And in addition to that, let's see, here's another scenario. I'll come in closer. The Madman. So there's that scenario. Here's the Brockford House with the Brockford House is a completely separate scenario. So there are several scenarios in here. Is the Brockford House? Yeah, the Brockford House, I think, is dealing with this caverns and stuff. So when I was a kid, and my buddy who had this game, he ran us through a slightly different version of Brockford House with these cave systems and stuff under the house. So that was really a lot of fun. So let's see, the book is 96 pages long, saddle stitched, really, really soft. Again, this is the first edition. Also, it came with this basic role-playing and introductory guide. And this is just the basic BRP rules. So you could play any game. You wanted to do a superhero game, make up some superpowers, use the BRP rules and play that. You want to do a game with set in the Wild West, you could do that. You can do any game using these basic role-play rules. And of course, this has been expanded out, and I think it's a little bit dated now, but there is what they call the Big Gold Book, the basic role-playing game, and it has this big yellow kind of gold cover book. I would love to see that, the basic core BRP rules republished with the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition kind of slickness to it. Getting rid of this was called the resistance table, and this is how you resolved opposed rolls. So one player would use their skill and combine it on the resistance table versus something else that was opposing them. Maybe it was a stuck door, the strength of the stuck door, or maybe if you're casting a spell You might be opposing versus their POW roll, that kind of thing, or their POW value. But opposed rolls work better now in Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, and I don't think you need to have the BRP's resistance table anymore. So that's why I'd love to see basic roleplay updated into something more akin to Call of Cthulhu 7th edition rules. Here I just have, this is just a photocopy. This is not original of a 1920s character sheet, which is fine. And then this is a really cool world map. Not quite unfolded enough. Here we go. So here's a, kind of come out a bit, see if we can get, there's the whole world. Sorry for the glare. So lots of interesting tidbits on here. Easter Isle. Oh, what's that? We found Relier. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So some cool stuff. There's some mythos locations here. You can see the City of the Great Ones listed there in Australia. What else? Is there anything else I can find down here? Well, I'm sure there's lots of interesting things out here. But, oh, what's this in America? This is the, oh, that's Mesa Verde, okay. But, you know, oh, there's the city, underwater city for the deep ones. Oh, it's interesting. They didn't put a dot to mark Arkham on this map. Well, it seems like a bit of a missed opportunity there. But anyways, so this is always a neat map. I keep thinking I want to have it framed, but haven't done that yet. And this was neat too. So the box came with this source book for the 1920s, and love the Zeppelin. It's got a wraparound cover where you can kind of see a diagram of a Zeppelin. So that was kind of neat. And so this source book for the 1920s. Yep, published in 1981 here. And, you know, I really lucked out. This is a really nice copy of this box set. So let's see what else is in here. So, you know, these are facts and things about the 1920s. So here's some biographies of people from the 1920s. I always love these like really old-timey maps that kind of look like they were taken from an Indiana Jones movie. You know, there's that scene where he's teaching in class, and there's some ruins drawn on the chalkboard, and the map is very much similar to that type of style, you know. So, you know, see another really cool location map that you could integrate into your game. So really cool stuff here. Oh, look at this. Railway coaches. So here's some, if you wanted to use a train, you could kind of use this as a template to put 1920s style trains in your game without it having to be Horror on the Orient Express. You can do something else too. And you got some different travel distances and speeds and stuff. So kind of some handy stuff. This is a pretty handy book to have. Cash and prices on things. Very awesome map of a pyramid in Mexico. Neat. Very cool stuff. Oh, some new weapons for BRP. Another weapon list of weapon zones and things that are listed here. Lots of neat stuff. Oh, here's some standard. It says monsters and beasts, but you know, there's lots of real life animals, but then there are also monsters in here, right? So you can find a mummy in here, but there's also, you know, things like there we go, a gorilla, right? Ooh, you know, ghosts. So there's some neat, a little bit of a bestiary in this book as well. Oh, the werewolf, you know, and you could always compare these. I wonder how similar these stats for a werewolf are from 1981 compared to werewolf stats in the Malleus Monstrorum, currently published for 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. Let's see, what else? So I had a photograph, I had a photocopy of a character sheet, but here is some actual first edition. They kind of came in this little stack. It's like a little booklet, little stack of original character sheets. So I could always make photocopies of those and use those in a game if we really wanted to play, you know, old school first edition Call of Cthulhu. This was also kind of neat. They had these little paper silhouettes, you know, this is a great way to get miniatures onto your game board. You just, you know, as the example shows you, cut it out, kind of fold it in an A-frame and tape it to a penny or something, and suddenly you've got miniatures in your game, right? You know, so you could have some Star Spawn, you know, Spawn of Cthulhu, the Migo, there's a Bayaki, there's a Dark Young, a Chthonian, there's a Shambling Deep one there, and a Ghoul. I mean, lots of cool little creatures and stuff. Let's see, here was the sheet that said, what's in this box? So, what was in this box? The BRP 16 page, yep, we had that. The Call of Cthulhu rulebook, yep, we had that. Source book for the 1920s, yep. The world map, character sheets, the silhouettes, and some dice. I didn't have the dice, but I don't expect dice to be in a game this old. Somebody's already pulled those out. And it came with a catalog. I actually still have that catalog. Oh, look at this. It's the Volume 1, Number 1, Winter, 1981. Holy cannoli. That's, I wonder if anything in this catalog is still available. and then I got a little card, gonna tell us what you thought about the game. So there we go. That's what this first edition box set looks like. It's a really fun, nice, well put together box set. So I'll drop all this back in here, and we'll take a little bit quicker look at the second edition. Let's take a look at has the same cover, box cover, as the first edition, and it has basically the same back, a little bit slightly different details up here at the top as far as what the second edition looked like versus the first. Here is the booklet, and it has a slightly lighter design to it. Yes, we can take I can get the lid off. Slightly, you know, you can see the first edition had that darker look to it. Second edition had a lighter look to it. And there we go, get that cut. And you can see that they clearly put right on the cover, second edition. But honestly, I believe, other than a few probably editorial changes in here, slightly, see, they updated the look of the character sheet and how, you know, old Harvey Walters, how his character sheet looks. And other than a few cosmetic changes, this book is practically identical to the previous book. Here are the scenarios. You can see even in the second edition, it is still called The Haunted House, not The Haunting, not yet. Let's see. We still have The Madman. We still have that one. We still have The Brockford House. So these are all still in the second edition, as they were also in the first edition. The Cultist Lair, they had a beginning scenario for campaigns, and the Cultist Lair, those were also in the first edition in this appendix section. Same thing with like libraries and their use. This is that notes on the fragments of the Necronomicon. This has got a great byline here. So someone's actually getting some good credit on what they wrote in here, which is great. And then, here's some information about some of the different fiction that's available and the authors for that, whether it's August Derleth or Frank Belknap Long, of course, H.P. Lovecraft. And look, Ramsey Campbell. Ramsey Campbell's an amazing author. And again, this book clocks in at 96 pages, so it's the same page count as the first book, and we get a character sheet printed in the book at the last page, again for easy photocopying reference, and the table of contents is included on the back of this book, just like it was included on the back of the first edition. So that's interesting, I like that. This came with more silhouettes, again, paper miniatures for your game. This came with a new, now you'll notice this is different. This is the second edition character sheets, so it has the little box that you can draw a picture of your character. But just like in the first edition, this is like a little packet, little booklet of three double pages of character sheets kind of folded and put together. Again, I could photocopy these and use them, if I was going to play, an authentic second edition game. The world map is included again, so I won't unfold it, but this is the world map again. And here's that, what's in the box. The only thing I am missing from my second edition versus, from the box set, is I don't have the source book for the 1920s. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and buy another one just individually, and I'll just stick it in the box, and then that I can kind of put together my my second edition box. I have another catalog, except this one now is going to be the Volume 3, Number 1, Spring of '84. So I guess this box set is from '84. There's another little card in there. Actually, why don't we take a quick look at the book here, and let's see if there is a date in here as far as publication. So, first print was 81, revised 81, 82, 83, revised and reprinted 83. So it looks like, this box set might already be kind of a Frankenstein box set where it's got bits and pieces from different things. That catalog looks like it's from 84, but clearly this second edition, book is a 1983 book. So this is dating from 83. So there we go. This may have been a little bit longer than I intended it to be, but that is Call of Cthulhu, the original box sets, both the first and second edition box sets, here in 2021, the 40th anniversary of Call of Cthulhu. Thanks for watching.